This is not where they want to be. They're right now on the outside looking in of that top 10 in the Western Conference. If the season ended today, they would not be in the play-in tournament, which is astounding when you look at that payroll and the names on the back of the jerseys with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. I mean, I feel like you could put the Phoenix Suns in that panic meter and we would just be hammering that thing. There wouldn't be a button left after we were hitting that panic button with that salary. And the fact that Kevin Durant, like, it's only a matter of time. I just feel like it's only a matter of time before Kevin Durant's like, I'm not going to be sitting here watching the playoffs on my couch again. So we'll see what happens in the next month.
I mean, they don't belong in the panic meter thing because that's been done. Like the button's been pressed over and over. It's not working anymore.
It's like a Looney Tunes thing where you're just smashing it and then like the spring comes out.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was interesting that Tim McMahon over on Hoop Collective podcast with Wendy and Bon Temps, he was talking about Phoenix and he says, well, the Rockets, they've expressed interest in Devin Booker. And then immediately the conversation turned to, well, there's no indication that's even going to happen. Like, it's just not going to happen. Wendy interjects, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, period. And I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon either. But the expression of interest, 1 year ago, there was the KD Houston stuff. Now it's the KD, the Booker Houston stuff. You have a team that's lurking around this Suns team that's struggling, waiting for the moment that KD or Book says, I've had enough. You've had enough. It's over. This isn't working here, Ishbia. Stop doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on this roster. It's done. It's ultimately the player's choice in this situation if they end up demanding a trade. And as someone like Houston's lurking, waiting for that opportunity. And it might actually come. I think this is the last year for this Suns team, unless they actually make a bit of a run. It's probably it, right? It's got to be.
It's got to be. It's got to be. And I think if you're Kevin Durant, just in the same way that OKC should have seen the writing on the wall and traded Kevin Durant before he walked, I think Phoenix has to figure out a way, like, how do we get value back for Kevin Durant while he's healthy at this age, rather than letting him basically, not be able to recoup some of the assets that you would get when peak Kevin Durant is playing like he is right now. So I think it's a lot more likely when you look at the Houston Rockets and the Phoenix Suns that Kevin Durant is the star that comes in that package than Devin Booker. I think they're going to continue to build around Devin Booker. He's young enough. He's a homegrown talent. And I just think that Kevin Durant, if they go on another slide here, even after the Nick Richards trade, we're not saying that he's a franchise savior or anything, but if you're making trades and still not changing the overall direction of the franchise, I think the Rockets were smart to build leverage and say, we're not going to trade this season. We're not looking to make a big deal, because the other teams on the other side of that call, they're going to be like, I know you don't want to trade your young guys or trade those assets, but what about this? And that just sets the negotiation at a much more favorable position if you're the Houston Rockets than if they were sending flyers out there or feelings out there, but that they really wanted to upgrade at the deadline. They would lose a lot of leverage. So I think it's smart play by Houston. And if Kevin Durant is available, I think they would go hard after him.
Last thing, Tom, earlier this week on my show, I had a mailbag question asking, hey, why did we all miss on Scoot Henderson? What happened? And then he comes out that night and he scores 39 points. Did you show him a clip of that? Was that you?
Yeah, it was all me. It was all me. That was an incredible performance. It was just like, yo, he didn't miss. He didn't miss.
In an 18-point loss.
Hey, Tamani and Scoot Henderson had career highs in the same game. I can't speak for the rest of the team, but it's just, Scoot Henderson, it was good to see that from Scoot. It was just
39 points, more points than he had in the prior 4 games combined.
Well, I would put it a different way, is that it was the youngest player in Blazers franchise history to have 39 in a game. So the Damian Lillard's pretty good. Clyde Drexler's pretty good. They've had some really good players come through that franchise. And for Scoot Henderson to be youngest to put up 39, I wanted to see it continue. I think we would all like to see it continue. If he has a legit 3-point shot, that's a game changer, just like any young point guard. And I would remind people, he's 20 years old. So we'll see what happens.
Yep. Just a kid still, but a lot of reason for concern with Scoot. I'm rooting for him, though. He's a good kid, works hard, and Blazers need him to pan out. They really need him to pan out.